Welcome everyone, this is your math tutor Naresh. This is the second video of brackets within brackets. In this video we're going to do some more practice questions, how to deal with brackets within brackets. Simplify. Alright, so let's get started. So we'll look at example 1. So we have -2 curly bracket 3 times inside the square bracket -2x minus x plus 2 plus 12 close the square bracket minus 5 times x plus 1 close parentheses and then close the curly bracket. Okay, so this is the question and we're asked to simplify it. So remember, we have a curly bracket here, then here we have a curly bracket. So whenever you open a bracket, you have to close the bracket at some point. So you know that this is where you start this bracket and that bracket. So that sort of tells you what we're keeping together. So here we have x plus 2, so we're keeping that together, right? So and then here we have x plus 1, so that is being kept together. And then we have square brackets here, so inside these square brackets we're keeping these three terms together with the factor of 3 on the outside. Alright, so let's start. We're going to work our way from the inside out. So we're going to copy the factor of -2. So have your curly bracket. So I don't want to multiply 3 out with these terms. First I want to deal with this inner bracket and this inner bracket. So keep everything else, copy everything else as is. Alright, so we have 3. So start your square bracket, copy -2x, and now let's remove parentheses here. So -1 times x is -x. -1 times +2 is -2. Remove the brackets here. Now we add 12. And now we're ready to remove this set of parentheses. So -5 times x is -5x. -1 times +1 is -5. And now close the curly bracket. Okay, so we've done that. We've removed the inner parentheses. Now what we have is the inner square bracket. So the next step is to simplify this bracket or remove that bracket if possible, and sometimes it may be done in 2 steps. So copy -2, copy the factor of 3. So I think we still need the square bracket. We're not ready to do this in 1 step. So collect like terms. So we have -2x and -1x. So they're both alike. They add to give us -3x. So -3x. And now we have 2 constant terms, -2 and plus 12. So 12 take away 2 is 10. So that's plus 10, close square bracket, and then copy the last 2 terms. -5x minus 5, close the bracket. And now at the next step, copy the factor of -2. And now to really remove this bracket, we can multiply the factor of 3 with both terms. So 3 times -3x is -9x. 3 times 10 is 30. And now copy the last 2 terms, -5x minus 5, and close the curly bracket. So now you can see we have removed the inner parentheses and the inner square bracket. So now we're just left with the curly brackets, right? Okay, so collect like terms. Collect like terms, so -2. So we have a -9x and -5x. So 9 and 5 is 14, and because they're both negative, they're going to add to -14. So -9x, -5x is -14x. And now we have 2 constant terms. So 30 take away 5 is 25. So that's 25. Close the curly bracket. And now we're ready to multiply the factor of -2 with both of these terms, and we'll end up removing the curly brackets and simplify. So negative 2x times negative 14x, negative times negative is positive, 2 times 14 is 28, so that's 28x. Multiply negative 2 with the second term, negative times positive is negative, 2 times 25 is 50. So that's the final answer. So it was a lengthy question, but it made no difference to us because we were following our concept. The concept was we work from the innermost bracket and work our way from the inside out. So we dealt with this bracket first and that bracket. We removed them, and what we got was we were left with square brackets, and then we collected like terms here, right? Condensed what was inside the square brackets by collecting like terms, and then we multiplied the 3 out to remove the square brackets. And then again, once we removed the square brackets, we collected like terms, condensed this or simplified this, and then finally we dealt with the factor of negative 2 to remove the curly brackets. And that's how all of these questions are done. So it's just a matter of getting more practice and becoming more familiar and getting the hang of it. And then once you've done a number of examples, then nothing looks scary, right? At first, if this is your first time doing this, you may find that this expression here was a little bit scary, right? Even keeping track of the different set of brackets seems scary, but it's really not scary. Okay, so let's do another example. Okay, so next example is negative 12 minus 4, then we have square bracket, negative 2 times 3 minus 4, then we have plus 2 plus 5, square bracket, minus 11 times 12 plus 18 minus 28, close bracket. Okay, so in this question I have no variables. Does it make a difference? No, it doesn't. So what I see is brackets within brackets and lots of brackets, and our job is to simplify. So our concept is we work from the inside out. So let's just do that. Equals, copy the minus 12, copy the factor of negative 4. So now let's work our way from the inside out. We want to deal with this bracket, we want to deal with this bracket, and then we want to deal with this bracket. So at this first step, these are the 3 brackets we want to deal with. Okay, so copy factor of negative 2. Now what's 3 take away 4? So 3 take away 4 is negative 1. So we'll still keep it inside the parentheses. We collected like terms here, right? Both of these are constants. Now I could remove, because now the next step would be to multiply negative 2 and negative 1, and the answer is positive 2. So this really simplifies to 2, right? But I will do this in 2 steps. So plus 2 plus 5 is 7. So there you go, parentheses removed here. And now the next step, minus 11 times, so here we have 3 numbers inside the parentheses. We can add them, right? So 18 take away 28 is going to give me negative 10. Negative 10 plus 12 is 2, right? So I just did it that way. 18 take away negative 28 is negative 10. Negative 10 plus 12 is positive 2. Or you can do it however you like. So let's say 12 plus 8 from here will be 20, plus 10, that'll give us 30. Then 30 take away 28 is going to be 2. Okay, so now continue. So minus 12, negative 4. Now let's remove this parentheses. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. So that's 2 plus 7, close square bracket, and we can multiply this out. Negative 11 times 2 is negative 22. Okay? Now, copy minus 12, negative 4, times 2 plus 7 is 9, and then copy minus 22. Now, notice I've been copying this negative 12 and then a factor of negative 4. Now, some of you may say, well, I can add these two to get negative 16, right? Negative 12 and negative 4, that would give us negative 16, but that's wrong. You really have to know what the operation is. What operation are you dealing with, right? So the reason I say that that's wrong is because it's not about subtraction here. The negative 4 is actually a factor of what's inside the square brackets. Remember, even when you look at the first step, negative 4 is being multiplied with what's inside the square bracket. So this is the square bracket beginning, and this is the end of the square bracket. Whatever is inside is being multiplied with a factor of negative 4. So this negative 4 is a factor of what's inside is a multiple or a factor of what's inside the square bracket. So this is not subtracted from negative 12. Okay? Not at this point. Alright, so when we simplify this, so copy your negative 12 and I'll multiply it. So negative 4 times 9 is negative 36, and then minus 22. So now we can add these three negative numbers. So remember, we weren't subtracting 4, we were actually subtracting 36 from negative 12, right? Or we were adding negative 36 to negative 12. Alright, so now can we add these three numbers or collect like terms? So they're all three are constant. So, okay, so let's do the math. So let's see, so we have 36 here. So 36 plus 2 is 38. 38 plus 10 is 48. So these two terms add up to 48. And now we want to add 22. So 48 plus 2 is 50. 50 plus 2 is 70. So this adds up to 70. And you can double check, and sometimes when we add, we don't end up adding correctly because either we don't think hard enough or we just give up halfway, right? But you do want to make sure you add correctly and get the right answer. So 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 2 is 10, so that's a 0, 1 carryover, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7. So there you go, so that's correct. Okay, so any questions on this? No variables, lots of brackets within brackets, but we just applied our principles, our concept, one step at a time. Again, the key is, here's the question. When you start simplifying, you need your equal sign all the way till the end of the question. And when you go from one step to the next step, make sure you do your mathematical operations correctly. You add, subtract, multiply, positive numbers, negative. Make sure you do them correctly, right? If you do them correctly, and then you will get the right answer at the first attempt. And if you don't, if you make errors, that's not a bad thing. It's a very good thing because it's an opportunity to learn from your mistakes. And the more mistakes you make while you're practicing, the better it is for you. But so then when the time is real time to take your real exam, then you'll know that where you always go wrong, then you will take a step back and you will go correctly from this step to the next, to the next, to the next, and then to the final answer. Okay, so let's do some more practice. Alright, so let's do another long one. So I'm going to need more room. So negative 3 times negative and then x minus 1 minus 2y plus 2x plus y, and then close square brackets, and then minus inside parentheses 5x plus 7x minus 2x minus 7x. Alright, it's a lengthy question. So simplify. Our job is to remove brackets, and we work our way from the inside out. Okay, so let's get started. So equals, copy the -3 as is. So we want to remove these parentheses, we want to remove these, and then, okay, that we can collect like terms. Alright, so -1 times x is -x, -1 times -1 is +1, minus 2y gets copied, and remove brackets here, factor of 1, nothing really changes, 1 times anything is anything, so we copy 2x plus y, close your square bracket, minus, and now collect like terms. They're all alike, right? So when we collect them, we can actually cancel +7x and -7x. They cancel each other out, and we're left with 5x, take away 2x, that gives us 3x. So I just have 3x, then I don't, okay, so 3x. 5x take away 2x is 3x. I'm still keeping the brackets around the 3x because the sign outside the bracket is negative. So whenever you have a negative sign and outside the bracket, you're safe to keep everything inside the bracket and then deal with it at the next step. Until you become good at it, then you can do 2 steps in one. Alright, so now we can collect like terms inside the square bracket. So -3, okay, so we have x and 2x. So 2x, take away 1x is 1x, simply an x. Alright, so now what about the y terms? Do we have any y terms that are alike? Yes, we do. So we have this y here and this y here. So -2y plus 1y is -1y. And now we have a constant, and so that's +1. There aren't any other constants, right? So double check, 2x take away x is x, -2y plus y is -y, and then only one constant term. Okay, now this one here, -1 times 3x is -3x, so this is -3x. Okay, so now we can remove square brackets by multiplying -3. So -3 times x is -3x, -3 times -y is +3y, because negative times negative is positive. Now -3 times 1 is -3, because negative times positive is negative. So we've removed square brackets. Now copy the last term, which is -3x. So now can we combine, can we collect like terms? Are there any terms that can cancel? Okay, a lot of 3's, but nothing really cancels. So here we have the x term, here is the other x term. So -3x, add another -3x, the result is -6x. Y terms, there's only one y term, so copy that y term, 3y. And then what about constants? So we only have one constant term, and that gets copied. So that's -3. So you can take a look at this question, very lengthy to begin with, and we applied our principle, worked our way through one step at a time, and we reduced it or simplified down to these 3 terms. And now we can't really collect anymore, right? Because that's an x term, that's a y term, that's constant. Nothing is alike anymore. We can't simplify this any further, so this is where we stop, and you know that you have reached the end. So it has been simplified. So that's all I'm going to say, and I'm actually going to stop the tutorial here, because now it's just a matter of getting more practice. So you can take out your textbook and you can start practicing, or you can even copy these questions. You can rewind, copy the questions, and do them until you are comfortable with the concept. So Thank you very much for watching, and we will see each other in the next video. If you like this, please like or subscribe. And once again, thank you for watching. We'll see each other in the next